You don't need to memorize 50 openings, you need only one to reach 1200. Most beginners fail in the opening because they try to remember moves instead understanding ideas. One opening as white, so this is the key opening you should learn as a beginner. The name of the opening is Italian game, so let's see how the setup goes. Here the white start with one e4 followed by e5, knight to f3 was played, knight c6, bishop c4 and bishop c5, c3 was played and knight f6 was played. So in this Italian game, you can play the move like d3 and d4. So let's see the d4 variation. So d4 was played, e takes d4, c takes d4, bishop b4 check, right? So you can block with this bishop and you can block with this knight, and you can even play knight to d2, right? So there are so many possibilities, right? You can play this knight to d2 also. So there are so many ideas here. So here white play the move knight to c3, knight takes e4, you just castles. He will take with this knight, right? So you will take back, bishop takes c3. If this happened, then you have a clear advantage as white, because queen to b3 was played to attack this pawn and this bishop, right? So black will play the move d5, right? So d5 will be played and you will take this pawn on the d5, right? So he will play the move castles. You can just take this, he will take this, right? So extra pawn, right? You have only 5 pawns, right? So here you will have an extra pawn, so you cannot take the bishop on c3. So instead you will play the move bishop takes f7, rook takes f7, and now queen takes c3 can be possible, right? So we can play the move knight g5, right? So this is attacked, right? So you need to just play the move bishop e6. You will play the move, right? You can take this because you will play the move queen to d7, so you cannot take this with the knight because you will lose your queen. So you need to take with this queen, right? So queen f7, knight f7, and you will take the rook on a1. So it's clearly not a winning question for white, because this is the last position as you play the opening, so it's a minus position for you. So here you no need to take the rook on f7. So right, so if he plays bishop e6, you need to play just queen takes a3. So this is the opening, right? White is in clearly equal position, right? He has so many ideas to bring the bishop on b2 and attack this g7, right? So after d5, so there are so many ideas, right? He can just support this knight with h4. So this is the simple idea behind the Italian game. So if he takes with the knight, you will see this variation. If he take with the bishop, right, so you can take back and he will play the move d5. So it's an positive for white and also positive for black, right? So we can play the move bishop d3. So just attack this, he will just castles. So this is the Italian game, right? So let's see an example for this Italian game. This is an example game which was played by Magnus, right? So here Magnus Carlsen is black and Vladimir Kramnik is white. So after knight f6, Kramnik play the move d3, right? So here he play the move d3. So after d3, black play the move d6, castles a6. So he has an idea to play b5, right? So here white play the move rook e1, a normal developing move, bishop a7, a4, stopping b5, right? So castles and h3, these are the normal moves. Knight e7, so the idea behind knight e7 was to play c6, right? And in future can play d5. So this is a simple idea behind knight e7, right? d4 he played, knight to g6 was played, right? Just read out this knight, right? From c6 to e7, e7 to g6, knight d2, c6, bishop d3, and rook e8. So he's going to play the move, right? So in the future he can just take this and he can play the move knight c4. There are so many ideas for white. So here white play the move bishop c2, h6, knight f1. He's planning to bring the knight to e3 and f5. This f5 square is a juicy square, right? So he's planning to play the knight on f5. So e takes d4, c takes d4, and c5. So here he is going for this center, right? So here white play the move d5. He keeps the center solid, right? So this is a weak square, right? So the knight to e5 can be played here. So if knight e5 was played, then you just take it. If he take this, then this will be a passer. So if he take this, then you can play the move bishop f4. He need to go back, right? So if he takes with this pawn, right, you will play the move like bishop d3, right? So or you can play some other moves like bishop e3, but the e4 will be weak, so we can just attack this. So here black play the move which is b5. So a takes b5, a takes b5, and knight to g3. Both players keep their knights on the g file and f file, right? So it's a solid setup for both of the players. Play the move bishop to d7 followed by bishop e3, bishop b6, rook e8, queen e8 and b4. So you cannot take this pawn because the b6 bishop is hanging, right? I play the move queen a7 just to support this bishop on b6. So white play the move queen a1 just to trade the queen side. So you can take the queen and rook can take the queen, right? It's in solid position. But black play the move queen c7, bishop takes h6, right? The tactic behind queen a1 was that bishop to h6, right? If you take this bishop, then you will lose here knight. C takes b4, bishop takes g7, which is another great move, because if you take this, then knight takes h5, right? So knight to h5, not knight takes h5. You can play some other moves like king f8 and queen takes f6. So it's a simple winning game for white. So here black play the move queen takes c2, right? So he play queen c2, queen f6 and queen takes f2, king h2 and bishop d8. He just attacks this queen on f6. So here white play the move queen takes d6, right? Knight h4 was played. Here white can support with rook g1. So let's see what he thinks, or he can just take this, right? He just takes and bishop takes. Now this is a small threat, right? So here white play the move knight h5, bishop takes h3, which is another sacrifices. He's sacrificing everything, right? Magnus is a purely good. He sacrificed every piece to hunt the white king, right? So rook to g1 was played to support this pawn, bishop g5, bishop f6, right? So here you need to trade this bishop and this bishop, right? So then only you can just checkmate this black king. So here he tries to sacrifice, or he tries to exchange, but black play the move bishop g4 and bishop takes g5, bishop takes h5, queen h6, rook e4. He is trying to come like this, right? So if you take, then I take, so checkmate. If you cannot play d6 move, like rook h4, bishop h4, queen h4, such checkmate. So you cannot play some other moves like d6, and you cannot hurry to make this pawn as a queen. So here white keeps his calm and play the move queen takes h5 followed by queen f5, queen h6. He's a piece up, but there are too many pawns going to queen. So let's see how he handles it. Bishop f6 going to mate here, right? So queen f4 check, queen f4, rook f4 and d6. So it's a simple move, right? So if you take this, I will play the move here, right? So you cannot stop this, right? So if you play here, then I will just queen it. So this is the move. So he played d6, rook f6, rook d1 and rook h6 check, king g1, and he resigns because he cannot stop this pawn queening. So this is an example game of Italian game which was played by Magnus Carlsen. So he loses the game, but he sacrifices many things, and we learned so many things from the game. So if you like this video, subscribe to Checkmate City for more videos, and in the next video we will cover other openings of chess.